Thank you, Dr. Fox. We will now recognize Ms. Hayes from Connecticut for 5 minutes.
Thank you. And thank you to our witnesses for your testimony today, and to our friends from AARP who I see in the audience. Thank you for being here, for amplifying this issue all the time. People expect that if you work hard and save diligently, you can expect to be able to retire with dignity. The retirement process has gotten substantially more complex since the current rules were designed. Unfortunately, ERISA was enacted nearly 50 years ago and has not been updated since. The 5-part test used to determine whether someone is an investment advice fiduciary under ERISA predates the 401k by 3 years and widespread investments in IRAs by more than 2 decades. Many will need assistance with retirement, especially if they have limited savings. It takes tremendous trust to provide your personal financial information to someone else and give them control over your future by making investments on your behalf. Mr. Pfeiffer, in your testimony, you pointed to multiple studies that showed the vast majority of investors, as many as 97%, already believed their financial professionals were also their fiduciaries. How would this rule protect those with smaller investment portfolios? In particular, what does it do for investors with limited access to professional financial advice?
Well, it ensures that they get good advice. Frankly, the argument that, well, the financial services industry is just going to stop giving advice to people if they can't give them conflicted advice or rip them off is offensive to good financial advisors. Mm-hmm. It's not borne out by what happened after the last DOL rule. After the last DOL rule, like I said, the industry came in and said that everything's going to fall apart and we're not going to be able to provide advice to small investors. But what happened? 82% of broker-dealers didn't reduce their services at all. When Cetera, for instance, the broker-dealer, opened a $1,000 minimum account, they adapt.
I want to be clear. Many financial advisors are working in the best interests of their clients. In fact, 1/3 of the advisors, including more than 1,500 from my state of Connecticut, voluntarily certify as a fiduciary through the Certified Financial Planners Board. Many fiduciaries are also educators, helping their clients to learn about their savings, their investments, and why certain decisions make the most sense. So, Mr. Pfeiffer, can you also describe how the behavior of unscrupulous advisors can make it more difficult for all professionals to offer the best advice to investors?
Sure. If you are living up to a fiduciary standard, say as a CFP, a certified financial planner, and you have someone down the street that can put their interest in making a huge commission over the interest of the retiree of living a long and happy retirement, you're on an uneven playing field.
Thank you. And I believe that regardless of income, Americans deserve access to retirement investments that are in their best interest. We have lots of people who are trying to piece together a retirement and really rely on the savings that they've put in to be working for them in their best interest. We're not talking about large investors who have multiple portfolios and retirement is not an issue. It's the people who work every day and put away little by little in anticipation of retirement. This rule is long overdue, an important step towards ensuring that every American can retire with dignity. Thank you all for your time and for your comments, and with that, I yield back.
Thank you, Ms. Hayes. Now we'll recognize my good friend from Virginia, Mr. Scott, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Pfeiffer,